Everyone thinks they know me. The girl in armor, the holy warrior, the heretic, the martyr. They think they know the end of my story, so they stop listening to the beginning. But I wasn't born a legend. I was born Joan, Domremy, France. Around 1412, no throne, no titles. Just a stone cottage, farm chores, and prayers whispered beside a flickering candle. I was a peasant girl, poor, unimportant. I never held a sword, never read a book. But I had something else, conviction. By 13, I started hearing voices. No, not the kind you can brush off as dreams. Clear, loud, real. Saint Michael, Saint Catherine, Saint Margaret. They didn't ask, they commanded, "You must save France." Imagine being a teenage girl told by saints that you're going to lead armies, crown a king, and drive out invaders. I should have laughed, should have run. But I said yes. France was dying. The English occupied our cities. The crown was in dispute. The people had lost hope. So I did what no one expected. I asked to see the Dauphin, Charles. I rode through war zones, disguised in male clothing, because traveling as a girl, suicide. And when I got there, I didn't beg. I didn't stammer. I told him, "God has sent me to lead your army and see you crowned at Reims." They thought I was a joke, a sideshow, until I started winning. At 17, I took command. Not just a figurehead, I led charges. I inspired men hardened by years of war. At Orléans, we broke the siege in just 9 days. I didn't watch from the back. I charged the walls with a banner in my hand and arrows flying around me. And then we kept going. Bataille, Troyes, Reims, victory after victory. And just like I said, Charles was crowned King of France. I stood beside him in the cathedral, dressed in armor, a sword at my side, God in my heart. But power doesn't like gratitude. Once Charles had his crown, he had no more use for the peasant girl with divine orders. He backed away, grew silent. I kept fighting because I hadn't finished what the voices told me to do, and then I was captured. The Burgundians sold me to the English. They didn't see a warrior. They saw a symbol, a threat, a challenge to their power wrapped in chainmail and conviction. So they put me on trial, 18 years old, surrounded by bishops and scholars twice my age. They grilled me with questions, twisted my words, mocked my beliefs. They tried to break me, not just physically, but spiritually. My so-called trial, a political performance, my crime, faith, courage, refusing to apologize for either. They told me to deny the voices, to take off the armor, to confess I was a fraud. I wouldn't, so they tied me to a stake in the middle of Rouen, with a crowd watching like it was theater, and they burned me alive, 19 years old. But here's what they didn't count on. Fire doesn't destroy purpose. It spreads it. They thought they erased me. 25 years later, I was retried and exonerated. Centuries after that, they called me a saint, built cathedrals in my name, made me a national icon. But I wasn't looking for sainthood. I didn't fight to be canonized or remembered. I fought because I believed in my voices, in my country, in myself. I was a teenage girl with no army, no power, and no fear. And I didn't wait to be rescued. I became the rescue. So the next time someone tells you I was just some holy girl in a storybook, remind them, I wasn't a myth. I was the spark that lit a nation, and I still burn.